Welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. I think this is lucky episode number 13. Hopefully we get through it without doing too many screw-ups. When we last left off, we were just finishing up the steel production temporary setup down here, and I'm still producing some petroleum to start working on plastic, so that's what we're going to work on today. Right now we have it set up with the oil refinery to make petroleum, which is it's a decent way to do it. We get some byproduct of natural gas, but it requires a lot of duplicate interaction. Later on, once I'd like to set up a petroleum boiler, but while I have lots of oil, I have found a couple of reservoirs here. I think there was another one over this way somewhere. If not, I'm sure there is at least one more. I have not found a volcano yet. Either a minor volcano or a regular volcano. I don't know. I've never done petroleum boiler used as the magma in the bottom of the map. I know you can with a heat spike, but I've never done it, so that could be something we experiment with. But for now, let's just get our industrial block set up. We can finish exploring the map and decide after that. So we now have the petroleum. We need to get a setup up here where we can make some plastics. And I think we're going to use this area right here to make our first industrial block. It'll be a small one. But so what we're going to do, I know we're going to want the cooling up at the top, so we're just going to lay it out how we're going to do it so we know how much space we need. I'm going to expand all the way over here so that we can expand it in the future, but for now it's going to be pretty small. And then we will put this row, we're going to want to have our metal refiners so that they can vent their heat directly into the steam chamber above. So then we'll do the plastic processing down on this level. So we're going to put some tiles down for that. What we want to do is create a space here for the refiners to put down polymer presses. These are going to need to be steel because they're going to get very, very hot. So we're going to do two of them, just like that. We'll give them some power. And another thing that we want to do is if we just have them up in the open air, they're going to overheat very quickly. So we just want to put just enough liquid on them that they can cool off or vent their heat into the liquid and then the surrounding air, but not so much that they get flooded and won't operate. While we're waiting for that to build, let's put in our plumbing. So we have a pipe here coming out. I'm actually going to come down around this loop. So come in this way. So autosave gets longer and longer every time. I'm going to have to work on that soon. One of the bugs that happens is if you're placing something when you're autosave, I'm sure you saw it there for a second, it was trying to place it like at all kinds of crazy angles. If you just keep holding your mouse down when you notice an autosave and then right click before it places, then you can cancel the action. It's kind of an annoying thing, but something you'll run into. And then we're also going to need a vent for carbon dioxide, which we're going to bring. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down this way. And then we can put that directly into our loop. That's going to be the easiest way to do that. We want this to join the filter loop So what we can do, let's do another bridge onto it, and we'll do another bridge out. Basically, we're just going to create a double-ended loop. I want to make sure that nothing going in causes the loop to stop. Let's increase the priority here because I want to make sure I catch this before it creates a backflow. We're getting slowly lower and lower on our food, which means we're going to need to go make some changes to that soon. Okay, so what I want to do is cut that real quick. Okay, it created a backloop just for a second, but not enough to stop it from going. And then we will connect our carbon dioxide output into here. So this is basically the same as on this end. It will allow carbon dioxide in, but only if there is space in the loop for it, so it won't stop the loop from cycling. Which means we won't get any mix-ups on mixed gases going into their own pipes. And if this setup wasn't temporary, we could just run this so this goes directly into the natural gas, because we're not going to have anything in this chamber other than natural gas because of the crude oil lock here. But this is not going to stay forever. It's a temporary solution. We'll probably use an oil refinery for a little while, but we'll put it inside of our industrial block. Okay, so let's see, what's everybody working? Still doing these sweep commands. I had those on while I was working on other stuff, so we can let that go for now. So we're gonna come back once these build commands are finished. All right, we finished construction on the first start of our industrial brick. We have everything connected, so now we are producing plastics. So the next phase we need to have enough plastic to make a steam turbine, which is 200 kilograms. So far we're at 60. It shouldn't take us long to produce that much. But you can see these are starting to heat up, and the water is helping to transfer that heat right into the air around it, and so they're staying just fine. We also placed in our aqua tuner up here a while, which we made out of steel. And now we have enough steel left to make our turbine once we get up to it. The next thing we want to place for that is a liquid reservoir. We want to make that out of steel eventually too. It's not actually that necessary, so let's make it out of gold. We're going to need a liquid pipe thermal sensor to set up here. We're going to do plumbing. We want to do insulated pipes for the main part of the loop. We're actually going to do a smaller loop here to start. We'll expand it later as we need to. See if I can remember how to do this. It's been a little while. Okay, so we need a liquid bridge like this. Okay, so that is how we need to do it. So then, as far as the automation wire, we go from that thermal pipe sensor down to the aqua tuner. And then can make the steam turbine now. We want the steam turbine made out of steel, and then we need the plastic for it. Because we want it to have a long time before it overheats. And then we're going to take a gold wire, connect it up to the grid. So what we did is we took a heavy watt wire and ran it all the way down here to connect it to this grid. So that excess power we create from the steam turbine will just get dumped into this grid, which is the same one that this is on, so it's going to power the equipment in here. So basically the power that we create will help power the industrial brick. The next thing we need to do to get this set up, so we're going to make this just wide enough for what we need. Which means I need to get rid of this for now. This for now. Put all this on a higher priority so it gets done. So that's the basic setup for the cooling loop. We need to do radiant pipe, and we'll stick with gold because we have a lot of it. Coming out of the steam turbine, just wrapping itself around. That way we get some indirect cooling from that as it comes out. This, we're going to need a little bit more steel. So let's queue up a couple more pieces. I have enough to do quite a bit, actually, now that we're producing iron up at the ranches. So I actually want to change anything that's going to be inside here, I want to be made out of either ceramic or steel. Because it's going to get very hot inside there. And I don't want to have to go back in to fix it. We're going to wait for 400 steel to make this vent. And that'll be done. What we need to put in, we're going to use a trick that we picked up from Francis John. We need a vacuum inside this little area. And instead of vacuuming all the polluted oxygen out, we're going to put in 2 different layers of waters. That way they layer on top of each other. And when they get boiled, they'll turn just into water, which will go into the steam turbine, and then we'll just have water in here. It'll leave a little bit of residue, but I don't care about that. But it's a lot simpler than setting up a vacuum in here. So you know what I want to do? Yeah, we'll just stick with one for now. We can expand this in a little bit. Okay, so I'll come back once I have this filled up with liquids and we're ready to seal it up and get it turned on. We have most of our production here in place. Just waiting for a few more key components. We have a cooling loop that's filling up with polluted water slowly. We have petroleum in our first of our metal refiners, but we are waiting for more steel to finish out these loops because we want to have steel loops inside there so that when this gets super hot, the radiant pipes don't melt. And we're waiting for this water to get rid of this air bubble. I think I'm going to need to drop a little tiny bit more salt water in the bottom to make the water work its way over. But we'll see. We might get enough in there to do it. I was going to originally just do a small loop And then I was like, I'm going to expand this out for 5 refiners later, so let's just get it all done now. I don't know why I put these power transformers up here. They're going to end up getting moved over, so I should have just done that in the first place, but I'll get to that when I get time. We have a bottle emptier putting polluted water in this pump, which is what's filling up this reservoir with polluted water. So that's slowly working its way. And down here in our old steel production, we're still pumping away, making some steel, though we're out of lime. And this, oh, that's the problem. I was going to make that out of steel, and I don't have enough to do it. So let's just do a rock crusher. We can do it out of iron for now. It's not gonna stay there long. Oh, I must have gotten some polluted water that spilled down. That's unfortunate. I don't know where that came from. Maybe I broke a pipe? We'll have to fix that. We'll leave it for now. Probably actually help with the cooling on the rock crusher. Oh, you know what? It was probably right here. Probably broke something that fell down and melted. This I'm going to turn off because I think I have enough water in there. I don't want to go too high with the amount in here. It'll take way too much heat to get it to vaporize into steam. So once we get this sealed, the steam turbine will be all finished. We can add more steam turbines as we need when we get more heat pumped in here. But before we seal this up, I want to get that last bit of oxygen out, and I need to get some steel pipes placed in for the last of these metal refiners. Because once I seal this, I do not want to go back in. So we will be back in just a few more minutes when we have the last final steps done, and then we'll fire this puppy up. We have 2 last tiles to place, and then we are ready to fire this puppy up. So we have coolant loop that we're about to reconnect. We'll feed some more into it later. So we'll disable this for now. So that's working. So this is set up so that the standard bypass, if this thermo sensor is incorrect, right now we're above 96.9, which we're definitely not, it will bypass the fluid past the aqua tuner. So once we set this to below 25, let's say, now since the liquid in it is below 25 degrees, it will turn on. But what we want is we only want it to go in when the liquid inside goes below or goes above 25 degrees. If this liquid warms up, then turn on and cool off. And so then we'll be able to take this loop and run it down here to cool the area. But what we're going to do is turn this refiner on, iron to steel, forever. Okay, this is out. I put too much in the pipe. I knew that would be an issue. So let's clear this pipe out. Right here and here. Get somebody to come and do that. Okay, so this should be working now. Output pipe is still full. How is the output pipe full? Is this not connected somehow? We take a look at this. Something seems like it's screwed up. That's right. I think I have these backwards, don't I? That's frustrating. I'll be right back after I fix this. I cracked open the Steam chamber again, and I'm fixing the issue. So what I had done, let's disconnect this so it's not running while I have people in there, is that the output of the metal refinery I had going to the wrong end of a liquid bridge. So it couldn't go anywhere. So I pulled them all off, swapped them. Now they're made out of... Let's do it again. So I'm going to take these off. I want these to be ceramic just because I don't want to worry about the heat causing any problems for them. Why did that not? So we'll put these in and watch this go here in just a second. Oh, that's ceramic. That one I don't. Maybe I just ran out of ceramic. So that's good. That one's ceramic. This one's ceramic. That one's sedimentary rock. Plumbing. Liquid bridge. Ceramic. Why it would have switched that in the first place. Okay, so those are all set up. As soon as those are in place, we can seal this back up and fire it up again. And we also want to do another sweep quick before we seal it up. I think I actually had those queued up. I was just looking at the granite from the tile behind them. Okay, that's not so big deal. And then, okay, so we're sweeping out the remainder of stuff. Okay, and then we'll put in these last two tiles. So we need to reconnect our coolant loop. Oops, not the button I wanted to press. Okay. Liquid pipe. Connect. Liquid pipe. Connect. Okay. So this, let's go to a slower speed so we can watch this. Petroleum's coming out at 197 degrees. It's going up into here, and it is hitting that liquid inside there. By the time it comes back around, it's back down to 90 degrees. So it drops back down into the refiner at a temperature where it can actually be used as a coolant once again. So as that keeps going, this liquid's going to keep heating up. See, it's already picking up quite a bit of heat. The salt water is going to vaporize at 99.7, and the water above it is at 99.4. So right around 100 degrees, this water is going to turn to steam, and then this steam turbine will kick on once the steam reaches 125 degrees. We have the turbine set up so that it automatically vents the steam, or drains the steam back in through the liquid vent back in here, so that that water can get turned back into steam once again once the steam turbine cools it off. So essentially this can run forever. Now as far as the automation I set up here for the storage, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work the way I think, but I set up a storage bin for steel at priority 9, and I set up a smart storage bin for steel at, I'm going to do it at priority 8. We may change those down later. But so essentially, as soon as they're done making the steel, this bin will keep this storage bin full first. So right now I just have it set at 1 ton just for testing. And then once we're done with that, it'll start filling up the smart storage bin. The smart storage bin is hooked up through automation that as soon as it's full, it'll send a green signal. That green signal will hit this NOT gate, which will send an off signal to the metal refinery. So as soon as the smart storage bin is full, then it'll turn off the metal refinery. As soon as the duplicate comes down here and grabs steel, then the sweeper's going to pull items out of the smart storage bin and put it in the storage bin, and it'll send a signal, hey, we need more steel. Our power is not quite sufficient down here. We really need to connect up to the main grid. But for now, I think I could just add in another power plant or another coal plant. I do have to do some major revamping of the power. But so between these two different cooling systems, we will be able to run this metal refinery as long as we need to get the steel that we need. Assuming we can get the power set up. So in our next episode that I record, we will do some revamping of our power system so we can get this all hooked up to the main grid and get some finishing touches on this setup so that we have a nice, cool industrial block set up. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.